After 66 pillars that will stand by you when family can. Picture this, you've crossed the beautiful milestone of 60. You've lived through decades of change, weathered storms, and celebrated victories. You've worked hard, raised a family, created a home, and built a treasure chest of memories. You've given advice, offered a shoulder, and been there for the people you love time and time again. You believe your safety net is set. Your family, your closest friends, the people who've been part of your story for years. But here's the truth very few talk about. As the seasons of life pass, even the people you love most can't always be there for you. Not because they've stopped caring, but because life has a way of scattering priorities like leaves in the wind. Children grow into busy adults with their own families, friends relocate, loved ones face their own challenges, and time starts to reshape the patterns you've always relied on. And one day, you may find yourself asking a question you never thought you'd need to ask. When I need help the most, who will stand by me? Today, I want to share something powerful with you. 6 unshakable pillars of support that you can begin building right now. These aren't based on luck, chance, or someone else's availability. These are foundations you create for yourself, the companions that will walk beside you no matter where life leads. They will keep you independent when circumstances change, secure when challenges arrive, and fulfilled when the noise of the world quiets down. And I want you to stay with me to the very end, because Pillar 6, well, that one might just change the way you think about aging forever. It's not just a tip, it's a mindset that could transform how you face every single day of the years ahead. Pillar 1, financial stability, your unseen shield. Let's talk about something that can be uncomfortable but absolutely vital: money. We often grow up hearing two extremes, that money is the root of all problems, or that money is the only path to happiness. The truth? It's neither. Money is not your enemy, and it's not your life's purpose, but it is your shield. After 60, financial stability is so much more than numbers in an account. It's peace of mind when you lay your head down at night. It's knowing you can choose where you live, what care you receive, and how you spend your days, without fear that one unexpected bill will upend your life. Pillar 2, physical health, the foundation of freedom. Here's the truth that money can't buy. You could have $1 million in the bank, the dream home you've always wanted, and every convenience at your fingertips. But if your body can't carry you where you want to go, real freedom slips away. Carl knew this all too well. In his younger years, he was strong, energetic, and always on the move. He told himself that one day when life slowed down, he'd get back in shape. But that day kept being postponed. First it was work, then family obligations, then the comfort of familiar routines. Until one morning, climbing a single flight of stairs left him breathless, clutching the railing. His children cared deeply, but they couldn't walk for him. They couldn't take his doctor's appointments or eat vegetables on his behalf or restore the muscle strength he had slowly lost. That was his responsibility. Your health is not just a number on a chart or the absence of illness. It's your passport to independence. It determines whether you can travel on your own, garden in the sunshine, play with your grandchildren, or simply rise from a chair without pain. Every step you take, every healthy meal you choose, every checkup you attend, these are the small investments that pay you back in freedom. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to run marathons or live on lettuce to protect your body. You just need consistency. A gentle daily walk, a bit of stretching in the morning, foods that nourish rather than drain you, and regular visits to your doctor to catch small problems before they become big ones. Think of your body like the most valuable piece of property you'll ever own. If the roof leaks, you fix it before the water damage spreads. If the foundation cracks, you repair it immediately, because without it, the whole structure is at risk. The same is true for your health. Protect it now, and it will carry you further with less pain and more joy. Neglect it, and the world slowly becomes smaller. Not because of what's out there, but because of what your body will no longer let you reach. This is the one investment that truly multiplies in value as the years pass. Think of it as an invisible bodyguard that quietly walks beside you, ready to protect you from life's curveballs. Whether that's a sudden home repair, a medical expense, or a change in your living situation. Without it, every challenge feels heavier. With it, you stand taller. We've all heard stories like Richard's, a kind, dependable father who worked hard his whole life and was always there when his children needed help. He paid for college, covered emergencies, and gave freely. But when a sudden health crisis drained his savings, he turned to his kids for help, only to find they were already drowning in their own expenses, mortgages, and bills. Not because they didn't care, but because they couldn't. That's when reality sinks in. Your retirement funds, your savings, your ability to budget wisely, these are not luxuries. They are your safety rope. And without them, you're relying on others who may not have the capacity to catch you when you fall. So, protect that shield. Learn about your finances, even if you never did before. Live a little below your means, not because you're depriving yourself, but because you're building your own security net. Avoid unnecessary debt that can weigh you down, and invest, not just for growth, but for stability. Because here's the thing about this shield. It doesn't get tired, it doesn't get busy, and it doesn't forget about you. If you care for it now, it will stand by you for the rest of your life, quietly, faithfully, and without fail. Pillar 3, social circle, your community of care. Loneliness doesn't knock on your door loudly. It slips in quietly. You don't feel it all at once, but slowly it begins to weigh on your heart. Studies show it can be as dangerous to your health as smoking or poor diet, and after 60, the risk is higher. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, routines change. Without meaning to, our world gets smaller, and so does our circle. But here's the truth. Your emotional well-being depends on human connection just as much as your physical health depends on good nutrition. We're wired to be with others, to share stories, to laugh until our cheeks hurt, to have someone notice when we're not ourselves. Take Margaret, for example. A devoted mother, she built her life around her family. She would wait for her son's calls to feel connected, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks. But life, as it often does, pulled them into their own busy worlds. The calls became shorter, then less frequent. At first, she felt hurt. Then she realized something powerful. Her happiness couldn't depend on someone else's schedule. So Margaret took action. She joined a local walking club where her morning strolls turned into long conversations and shared laughter. She reached out to old friends she hadn't spoken to in years, rekindling bonds that time had merely paused, not broken. And she dared herself to try something new, a painting class at the community center. The result? Her days filled with color, conversation, and a renewed sense of belonging. Friendships and community aren't a luxury after 60. They're medicine for the soul. They keep the mind sharp, the heart warm, and the spirit resilient. And the beauty is, it's never too late to start. Whether it's a club, a faith group, a class, or even volunteering, every new connection is a seed planted for future joy. Build your circle now, and it will become your safety net later. A network of people who check on you, lift you up, and remind you that life is still rich with moments worth sharing. Pillar 4, purpose, the fire inside. One of the most dangerous myths about aging is the idea that your sense of purpose quietly fades away after retirement. That once you've stepped away from your career, raised your family, and checked the big milestones off your list, your job is simply to rest. But purpose doesn't disappear with age. It evolves. And without it, the days can start to feel long, empty, and colorless. George learned this the hard way. After decades as a dedicated engineer, he thought retirement would be an endless vacation. Sleeping in, lingering over coffee, afternoons in the garden. But within months, the days began to blur together. He felt restless, unneeded, and, perhaps the hardest to admit, invisible. Then one afternoon, a neighbor mentioned a local school looking for volunteers to help with science projects. George hesitated. After all, he was done working. But he decided to give it a try. That decision changed everything. Soon he was back in his element, teaching children how to build model bridges and small machines. Their curiosity was contagious. Their eyes lit up when they understood something for the first time. And George found himself lit up too. Not because someone handed him purpose, but because he went out and found it. Your purpose in this chapter of life might be completely different from what it was before. It might be mentoring the next generation, tending a garden that feeds your community, writing your memoir so your family knows your stories, traveling to see the places you've dreamed about, or learning a skill you never had time for before. The activity itself matters less than the meaning you find in it. Purpose isn't just a nice idea. It's medicine for the mind and the soul. It keeps you mentally sharp, emotionally steady, and spiritually fulfilled. It reminds you that you still have something unique to offer the world. That fire inside you, it doesn't burn out because of age. It only fades when you stop tending it. So feed it, protect it, let it light the way for the years ahead. Pillar 5, emotional resilience, the strength within. Life doesn't stop testing us after 60. If anything, the test can grow harder. Friends drift away, our health may shift, loss and grief visit our door more often than we like. And sometimes even the people we love most can't be there in every moment we need them. Not because they don't care, but because life has pulled them in other directions. Helen knew this pain well. After losing her husband of 40 years, her days felt impossibly long and unbearably quiet. The house was filled with memories, but it also echoed with absence. It would have been easy, almost natural, to let loneliness take over, to retreat into the shadows of what once was. But Helen made a choice. She joined a support group where others truly understood her journey. She began journaling, pouring her thoughts onto paper so her heart could breathe. And each morning she wrote down 3 small things she was grateful for, sometimes as simple as a good cup of tea or the warmth of the sun through her window. Over time, something remarkable happened. The grief didn't vanish, but it stopped owning her. She realized she didn't need someone else to fix her sadness. She had the tools to walk through it, to live with it, and still find joy. That's the heart of emotional resilience. It's not about pretending you're fine when you're not. It's not about never feeling pain. It's about knowing that when life knocks you down, you have the inner strength to get back up. Maybe slowly, maybe shakily, but still standing. Emotional resilience is a muscle. The more you practice self-care, gratitude, connection, and healthy coping strategies, the stronger it becomes. And when challenges come, and they will, that inner strength will be there, steady and unwavering, reminding you that you can weather any storm. Pillar 6, self-reliance, your greatest legacy. We often think of self-reliance as something we needed in our younger years, when we were building careers, raising families, and making our way in the world. But here's the twist. Self-reliance may matter even more after 60. Because in this chapter of life, it's not about proving yourself to others. It's about ensuring you can live on your own terms, no matter what changes come. Think about it. Family, friends, even a loving spouse, all can be a source of joy, comfort, and help. But life has its own timetable. People move, health changes, circumstances shift. And while love is constant, presence isn't always possible. If your well-being depends entirely on someone else, you give away the very freedom you've spent a lifetime building. Take Daniel's story. A retired teacher, he had always leaned on his wife to manage the household, from cooking to bills to social plans. When she became ill, Daniel found himself overwhelmed, not just with worry, but with tasks he had never handled alone. He could have let fear paralyze him. Instead, he learned. He asked questions, took classes at the community center, and step by step, built the skills he'd once thought he didn't need. Today, Daniel says self-reliance didn't just help him survive, it gave him confidence he didn't know he was missing. Self-reliance after 60 doesn't mean doing everything by yourself or shutting others out. It means having the knowledge, skills, and mindset to care for yourself physically, financially, and emotionally, even if life changes suddenly. It's knowing how to prepare a healthy meal, manage your money, keep your home safe, nurture your own happiness, and make decisions with clarity. Here's the beautiful truth. When you are self-reliant, you're not just protecting yourself, You're giving your loved ones a gift. You're freeing them from the burden of worrying whether you'll be okay. You're allowing them to show up in your life from a place of joy, not obligation. And perhaps most importantly, self-reliance keeps your dignity intact. It allows you to greet each day with the quiet pride of knowing, I can stand on my own 2 feet. That, more than anything else, might be the greatest legacy you leave behind. Now, as we wrap up, remember this. These 6 pillars we've explored together: financial stability, physical health, a strong social circle, a clear sense of purpose, emotional resilience, and self-reliance. They are more than just ideas. They are the true companions that stand by you through life's twists and turns. Family love is priceless, a treasure beyond measure. But these pillars, they are the sturdy foundation beneath your feet, the steady arms holding you up when the unexpected comes knocking. So don't wait for tomorrow. Start building these pillars today. Nourish the ones you already have. Because the stronger your foundation, the more freedom you'll feel, the more joy you'll find, and the more independence you'll keep. Not just now, but for all the years ahead. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a neighbor, or a family member who could benefit from these insights. Let's create a community where wisdom is passed on, where growing older is met with strength and grace. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video if it helped you, and leave a comment. Tell me, which pillar do you feel strongest in today? Or which one will you start working on?